Welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer, and we are back for part 2 of Melissa's origin story. Now, we already covered the origin story. Today, we're going to cover the next chapter of Melissa Belzer.
It was the really truncated version of Melissa's origin story.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's lots of fun details I could tell, I suppose.
Well, you're hangry, so
I know,
it's
fine.
I had to do some editing on that.
No, I get it.
So we're just going to dive right into this.
Okay.
So to recap, a couple of your kiddos, I guess I'll take credit for them too.
Our kiddos.
Our kiddos have moved out.
Yep.
We're now down to one in the house. And you decided to start a new business.
Yeah, because I knew that I was going to, I had already been rolling over some things for the last 5 months. Like, what's my next step going to be when I get things? Because I was actually not planning on doing anything until, honestly, probably October at the earliest. And I'd already been working it out, and I'd been like, I think I'm going to I had pretty much decided, I'm like, yeah, that's going to lay out nicely. I'm just going to shoot for October, and that's what I was settled in.
So you've had many different companies and I guess recruiters approach you in the past.
Of just all the things.
Yeah.
All the things.
Right. And for some reason or another, you said no to all of them. Now, we're not going to name.
Oh, you mean like my current? It just wasn't the right timing.
No.
Oh,
I'm saying other opportunities.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And
for whatever reason, you just said no.
Yeah.
And
I like being a customer.
Right. We're not going to mention the
That's fine.
company by name because we haven't figured out what we're allowed to say.
Yeah.
It is a network marketing company.
Mm-hmm.
If they're really curious about what you do, they could just go to your link tree and I'm sure that you have links to your Instagram and your Facebook page.
Probably. If it's not there, be patient. I was like, I do have to check that.
By the time this airs, it better be there.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So you have, if they're curious,
Okay.
without naming the company, they could always just become followers of you.
Yeah.
And find out what you do.
Yeah.
But we're not going to discuss that.
It's fine.
Because we don't know what we're allowed to discuss. We got kind of muddy water.
Well, I just need more time because I'm learning.
No, I'm saying that we got muddy information as far as what you're allowed to say and not allowed to say for it. So we're going to talk as far as the companies involved. We'll talk about that in general terms. So I'm just letting you know I'm never going to pressure you to mention who it is. But what I want to really discuss is what got you into this, what your goals and all that plan to be. So I'm just going to set you up along the way, and you just keep knocking my questions down.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, so you ended up deciding to join a network marketing company.
Mm-hmm. Which but we've also had been parts of other ones in the past. And my friends have had other ones and the same one, and I'm just happy being. I feel like I'm comfortable being a wingman. So I was always like, I'll be your best cheerleader, and I'll tell you all the things. I mean, even I would jump in and answer other people's questions, even if it was this or some other ones, because I just had such product knowledge. But especially with this one, so I've been using it's a nail strip product. And I've been using them for almost 4 years, and I just really like them. So that's the one that it kind of came down to, because I was just going through all the other ones that my other friends had asked me about. Seriously, every single. I know that's their job too, but I just would take product into consideration. How would I use it long term? How would I, what made sense to me? Some of it was just timing because I was still working and stuff like that. And this one, it's just was rolling through my brain, and I was thinking about what that looked like for me, and it started to cement some more and become more concrete in my thinking. And I thought, I've been cheering about this product for so long, and I've even sent people to purchased the products themselves from other people who were selling them. And I'm like, wait a minute. I still, it's been almost 4 years. I'm still using, I know how to use them. I know all the things, most of it. Now it's the back end stuff that I'm learning with the, social media and coming up with the, doing the links and that's the stuff that I'm trudging through and learning what's, all the things, all the rules and all the stuff. So I'm like, you know what? There was just such a good deal for us, for the bonus for getting a starter kit that I was sitting, our friend of ours, we had to take him to the emergency room on my birthday. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, we're just waiting. So I was already kind of rolling it over the last, especially couple of days, because I was trying to decide when I was going to begin. And so I'm in the emergency room. We're like trying to figure out what's up with our friend, and he's giving us updates, and I'm texting in Messenger, whatever, other ladies who are my partners upline, whatever. And I'm just like asking him questions. I'm like, what if this? And, doing all the things. And I'm like, they just had such a good extra incentive for June that I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Happy birthday to me. I'm going to do this for me. And so I went ahead and made the decision on my birthday, even though I was going to wait. I'm like, I don't know what this looks like. I'll at least get started and I can get the extra stuff. And I was like, it wasn't really the time that I wanted to do it, but I'm like, I really feel like I should do it right now. And so I decided on my birthday, June 17th, that I would get at least started or get it rolling, even if it was a slow roll to October, because I knew that I had a kid going to college and we didn't know what the other one, did we know? Yeah, I guess. Did we know at the time he was leaving then? I don't even remember the time frame. I'm trying to think because it just all happened so fast.
Okay.
It's probably right around
Pause
that,
for
right?
a second.
Yeah.
You got to breathe. You got to let me talk.
Okay.
So why this company?
Because
Over others, because we were in one many years ago.
Yeah.
We've since turned into a customer
Mm-hmm.
because we did like the product, but we
Yeah.
never developed what the network marketing
business.
company was. What makes you think, this is going to be a hardcore question, but what
Yeah.
makes you think that you can build this when you didn't build the other?
I think because I like having my nails decorated, but I don't like going to the salon because I've tried fake nails twice. Both times I was getting anxious trying to wait to go I was like, I wanted them off. And I mean, I started painting my nails when I was 3. And, you do a terrible job when you're 3 and you whatever, and you get better as you get older. Well, this to me allowed me to have a design or decoration that some people are going to the salon and spending, I'm finding $40 to $60, $80 for this. I was like, are you kidding me? I was not willing to spend that, and I don't like them enough to do that, and I don't want to just go have them paint. I'm like, I can paint my own nails.
So
Yeah.
would you say that you're more passionate about?
Maybe it's just because I know maybe it's just because it's not as much. I don't honestly know. I think it's just because passion definitely is there, because I'm like, how do you not use these?
I think that if you're going to sell anything, you better have a certain level of passion about whatever it is.
For sure. And even we buy different cleaning products from different companies like that, but some of it makes me a little crazy because they're all like, oh, you got to use all which is fine. But I don't think that's an end all be all, that I don't want to go, oh, well, I've only got these to pick from and I can only talk about these because whatever. I just, maybe that's it. And it's not, none of them are bad companies. It's just like, I just couldn't see myself going, okay, I'm going to try to talk about all these. And
well, because at the same time we were looking at this, we're looking at another company as well.
Which is very appealing. And I like that one, again, it's like And it's a cost
it
thing,
is.
but it's a no-brainer thing to me. So I don't know. I'm
I know.
like,
It's kind of funny because, like, even when I was talking to the rep from that one, I
Mm-hmm.
go, it's in the nutrition field.
yeah.
And I go, look, I use these products from First Form. I use these products from Nutrilite. I use
Oh,
these
yeah, I
products
guess if you do the
from
math on
Orgain.
that.
And, well, and that's not the issue. I'm okay adding something in
Yeah.
that I believe is better. My whole
Yeah.
point to her was that I looked at their vitamin D. The vitamin D I get from GNC is actually a better quality one. Yes, the only thing I take from GNC is their vitamin D. The protein powder that I use, they didn't have a protein powder. So
Well, I don't know what all they have.
well,
Because
but
I don't know.
there's a company that we use to get multivitamins from that I believe that they're superior. Yet I use the protein shake from another company because there's an ingredient that is not in the other one that is in this one. It's a whey protein, and I want a whey protein
right.
because it's a better protein.
Yeah.
So I'm very finicky on my nutrition stuff, and I made it very clear when I talked to that person. I'm like, I'm not giving up these other companies to be all in with your company. So I can see where you're coming from, is that just because you sell it doesn't mean it's the best. Now, here's what I will argue, though, is that I'll make a couple arguments.
Probably this one of the things I'm thinking.
One is that I will make the argument till the day I die that, generally speaking, products sold through a network marketing company are of a higher quality than they are
I believe
on
that
the
to be
open
true.
market.
I believe that to be true.
So that's point number one. Point number two, why would you not want to support your friends, your family that are selling a product
Exactly.
over Amazon or Walmart or whoever?
Right.
Why? Yeah, simply why? Why wouldn't you want to support them? So I've always found it baffling, and you're not so far having this problem, but I've found it baffling when you have your own line of whatever and people don't support you. I've talked about my clothing line and how I find it humorous who buys it and who doesn't.
Right.
Because you go, well, I'm not saying this is happening, but this just use a generic thing. My brother needs a shirt and he just got a new shirt, but he didn't get one of my new shirts. Or in your situation, you have a product to sell and they went and bought it somewhere else rather than supporting you. I will never understand that people will go, why aren't you successful? Why aren't you successful? Yet won't support you. And I've seen it in real estate as well.
Yeah.
Where I've had people not do business with me that are supposed friends and use somebody else.
Well, there are some that had relationships before you.
And I've already made that very clear on past episodes. I have no issues with that.
Right.
If you've
like
developed
whatever.
a relationship over time, I will give credit to somebody that pulled me aside and told me why they were using that other person. I will give them kudos to forever. And I actually respect him more for it. And in his defense, I know I said in my defense and in the dog's defense and all that all the time, but in his defense, I never asked him to come forward and say that.
Well, no.
And also, I'd only known him at the time about 6 months.
Right.
And we become really good friends.
Yes.
But he used this other agent. But the agent he was using, he had known in transactions for
long time.
over a decade.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
They had a long-term
totally.
relationship. The other agent never done anything wrong. In fact, she'd done everything right and built a hardcore relationship with them. So I don't expect you to use me. And I flat out told him that. I said, I would not expect you to stop using her because it makes sense to me that you would be loyal. And actually, I appreciate, one, your honesty, and two, I appreciate your loyalty to her.
Of course. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so far, you had pretty good results your first month, correct?
I've had good results every week.
Okay, but your first month right out of the gate, you had good results. You had good support from family and friends as well. You're not a hard sale.
Oh no, I'm just like, I just share it, and if they want it, they know I help them get it.
So I don't know. I know generally how network marketing works. I know that you're shooting for levels.
Yeah.
And there's recruiting involved is some aspect of it as well, but sales is always the backbone. And I think what I respect out of that company, as well as our friend Melanie's company, is that that's the main driver, is the use of the product. And I have way more respect for a network marketing company that doesn't go from the, hey, just recruit, but actually says, hey, use our product and share our product. And, that's how you get more people to be involved in your network and involved in your team and all that. So in yours, have you sat down and done goals for what you want to happen at the end of each month?
Yeah. I've actually talked with my upline team members, whatever, and I just told them, and they know. I was like, look, I'm not shooting for this goal. I know you all are, and I'm going to try to do my part to help them get there. That's not my goal right now because I jumped in a few months earlier than I'd intended, and that's fine. And they said, well, you could still do it. I'm like, I could still do it, but my focus is at least this right now, because this right now is still, I'm doing the same thing as I was as a customer, and I'm getting a little bit of income.
You want to be able to look at and see growth.
Yeah.
And you want to see progression. And we've had this conversation off camera.
Yeah.
To where I said, you just have to be continually adding new clientele and sharing it. And what's probably going to happen is clientele will be turning into people that also are, I'm not sure what they call them in your business, distributors or...
I don't know.
I
Just
have
call
no
it
idea
up.
what the
I
term
guess
is.
I don't.
It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. But other salespeople, that some of them will just decide that they want to go that route instead as well. But as long as you're seeing growth every month and you're hitting your targets, it's fine. If you don't start seeing that you're hitting your targets, then you need to figure out where the shortfall is.
Yeah.
So I know you've been working the social media side and really have had to learn a lot on the fly.
Yeah, because it's a lot of stuff that I just haven't had to do or deal with. So yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I was calling my upline, and I'm like, I need your help. And they're so willing, and that's what's so cool too. Oh, and also, and you were asking me why this business, because I don't. You can do this just without having team members. You can do it just in sales. It can be done. And other people have said that.
Agree.
So I think that part appealed to me too, whereas like right now I want to focus on that part. It's not, I would love to have a team going into the conference
Well,
next
and that's the
summer.
same thing I saw at Melanie's company as well, is that you could. You could do it that way too. It makes more sense having distributors in that because of the savings for people.
Yeah.
But you can. And that's the appealing thing. You have to find something that makes sense to you if you're going to get into network marketing, that makes sense for you, is a product that you love, is a product that you believe in.
Right.
And that you're passionate about.
Which is important. Passion, no matter what you do, passion I think is important because you have to want to do it.
Yeah, and that's any business whatsoever. It's like I can tell if I'm at a time to where I need a vacation and a step away from real estate, to where the passion is faltered because I'm just burned out.
Well, and you got to know when you got to just take a break too, because you can't just, we're not workhorses. You do have to regroup and reassess. I don't think everyone can just be a mule.
No, we can want to be machines, but I learned a long time ago that it's not possible.
No.
And also be setting realistic goals.
That's it.
I'm not saying set such low bar goals.
Right.
That would be silly.
No.
Go, last month I sold 1. This month I'm going to sell 2.
Yeah, right. And
not like that. It's like, hey, last month I sold 5. So if I can add 5 a month, okay, well, let's do 10 this month instead. Let's double it up. Set something that actually kind of challenges you a little bit.
Yeah. But, well, and that's what, it's not like I've just reached these goals without thinking. My goals are reasonable. They are. I'm having to make sure, I'm like, okay, I got a little bit more to go. They're not just coming easily. So I know that I'm at the right bar right now.
Right, they got to push you a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I I gotta do something else here, and because it's the last week of the month or whatever. But it doesn't make me feel stressed or anxious and stuff like that. And plus, it's like I have so many friends that just I love having the conversations that I have, because then they're just all like, oh, these are like making. My goal is just to share something cool with them, and they, I have them come up to me and like, these things are so great, and that's my main thing that I love, is that I'm helping them have a day where they can just be like, oh, and that's what I'm about. And so the rest will follow, I guess.
Right. You're not selling a product.
Right.
What are you exactly selling?
I mean,
happiness.
and people are like, oh, you shouldn't have to depend on things for. Yeah, but
that's silly. When people say stuff like that, like they also say that the motivation is bullshit. Well, you take a shower every day.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with motivation? I won't say it's the end all. I have a podcast coming up here shortly that speaks about it, that motivation's not only it, because, hey, look, if motivation was all it was at, the Arizona Cardinals last year would have been good. Because if you watch Hard Knocks, it's literally motivation talk after motivation talk with no action behind it.
That's hardcore on that show.
Oh, it is, but I love it because you can relate it to business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like how I can step away from it and then analyze it down to a business standpoint.
Right. Which is cool. That's always, yeah. So, I mean, and I decided, and I didn't even, when I got my starter stuff, I didn't know there was a conference when I did that. And I found out that by the time I found out, the conference was like 2 or 3 weeks away. And I was like, okay, they have a virtual, but I kind of felt like I need to go in person, because I want to meet my people, but the people that are helping me with my business, my upline stuff. I'm like, so I scheduled a trip step at a time. I got the conference ticket. I got the one-way ticket there. I got, I just kind of stepped it. I didn't even know until Sunday night. That was the last night I had to figure out where I was going to stay. And it worked out for me Sunday afternoon I was sharing a hotel room with someone because her flight got delayed. And I was like, well, I don't know where I'm staying because I know other people had rooms, but it worked out so that I was able to split a room 3 ways. And so it just all laid out. So I mean, just the way everything was non-stressful and it laid out the way it was supposed to.
You don't have to have all the answers today.
No. So
you could have enough stuff today just to get you to the next step.
And that's all I'm doing. Yes.
You don't have to have the end figured out.
No.
It's like, you know how many books I've started where I have no freaking clue? Like, I've done this with the rules stuff where I don't even have all 10 rules picked out for the book. But I have it figured out at some point in there. I just start writing.
Right. Well,
it's
because
the same thing
come.
when you're doing business.
Yeah.
It's just get going.
And that's what I just did. I'm like, I don't know what this looks like. And I did miss my very, very first goal. But then when I realized there was like another goal I could make shortly after, I'm like, well, it's a really big bummer that I didn't make that. Not a really big bummer, but it was kind of a bummer. But I was like, it's okay. There's a new goal that I can set. And I made that. So I was like, okay, it made me feel better about missing that very first one. Mm-hmm. So now I'm waiting to see if I meet this second goal for the second month in a row from whatever. I don't know if I'll make that or not, but I might make again the second goal. So I may not make my first goals, but it's fine because I'm still got plenty of goals that I can always shoot for, and I'll just keep adjusting as I go.
You just keep progressing up.
Yeah.
That's all you want to see. You just don't want to get stagnant.
No, right. So, yeah, I think that's why. I think it's because I wasn't forced to have team members like we felt like the other ones. Like, it's not that I wouldn't want one. It's just I didn't want to feel it's too much pressure.
Well, it is from
I'm learning.
A major standpoint is that if I have to have involvement in it, then it can become a major problem.
Yeah.
Because you've seen my schedule.
Yeah.
Between real estate, between the podcast, between writing, everything, it's like,
yeah, it's a lot.
There's only so much. And I have to also have time for my dog.
Yeah.
And for working out.
And your wife.
Yeah, we'll throw her in too. But the point I'm making is
Just kidding.
that there's only so many hours to go.
Right.
And I find myself being very cautious about where the time goes. Because like with Melanie's thing, I look at it and go, seems like a really great opportunity. However, I just don't know.
No, we're weighing it out and we'll see.
Yeah, it's one of those.
And it may just be, maybe you're a customer.
Could very well be.
Yeah. Which.
But it's just another
Makes
opportunity
me
out there.
okay.
It's like what I said. I've had a lot of people on here that have brick and mortar businesses. They're AC guys, they're solar, they're realtors, mortgage, whatever. And then you've got network marketing, which I've never discussed in over 100 episodes.
Yeah.
And yet it is yet another opportunity, another avenue for people to make money in.
Well, and it was something that I wanted to not have.
And I don't think it's the network marketing of old either.
No.
I think
it's a little different now.
I think a lot of them had figured out what was wrong with the industry and what needed to be corrected because it needs to be a customer first business. And I think that's kind of what turned me off on a lot of it is it wasn't customer first, it was recruitment first. And it's like recruitment should be not necessarily the afterthought, but it should be a distant second to number one. It should be helping consumers out, showing them you have a better product than they can get at an Amazon or a Walmart, and you're supporting a local family.
And that's more what I'm about. So like a lot of the clothing that I've purchased in the last, I don't know, 6-7 years, something was from a mom with a business, and my jewelry, someone with a business. Like if I need anything, I go to them first.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. If you guys like the show, like, share, comment, leave reviews, feedback. I think that's about everything on that.
Do all the things.
Do all the things.
Like I say.
If you need a awesome kick-ass shirt, like the kick-ass line I've got wearing right on me right now. Yep. That was a horrible sentence construction.
It's fine.
It is what it is. We don't edit. dadsruleswag.com for that. And until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be.